Elden Ring, the movie? That's a real possibility, according to the execs at Sony, after the company purchased about 15% of From Software. We'll tell you exactly what was said about the future of TV and movie prospects.
And CD Projekt Red has some ambitious plans for the future of their games. We're going to talk all about this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. Gaming News Weekly is back. We are the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're coming to you to bring you all of the major happenings in the video game world. We're on Fruit Lab, we're on YouTube, podcast services everywhere. I am E-Rock the Red. Every single week, I'm joined by this gentleman here. Full clip. How you doing today?
Doing all right, man. Pretty good. Yeah, since the last time we talked, I went to the amusement park and rode some crazy roller coasters, so I'm still feeling a little aftershock of all that.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't tell you the last time I was on a roller coaster. Too long.
Oh yeah, you forget how violently you can fling yourself around.
Yeah, what was it like a Six Flags type thing, or
It's similar to that, but I've never been to Six Flags, so I'm not sure what the difference really would be. But it's Kings Island in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice. That sounds fun. Yeah, we have a Six Flags not too far from us here, and I think the last time I went there was probably like 10 years ago. Like, it's definitely, I'm too old for that shit.
Oh, yeah.
My inner ear's all out of whack. I throw up everywhere. I have these mortality issues about, I see these, I'm like, who would ever want to go on something like that?
Right.
But I do miss it. Well, that's exciting. You been playing anything fun?
Not really anything new. A little more of that Gundam Evolution and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of Call of Duty. As we discussed before, that atomic grind is going to take some doubling down. That's what I've been doing over the past few weeks.
Are you enjoying it still, though? Or are you done with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. When you get those nice, crazy kill streaks, even though you're kind of handicapping yourself with crappy weapons, or you're only supposed to be getting like close range kills, it varies things nicely.
Yeah, I always used to enjoy like prestiging and stuff like that. So like, because it takes you get in that comfort zone, and then you gotta work your way out. So it's nice as what you're getting to do. You're getting to try some new things, try some new guns.
Yeah,
and hopefully don't get too burned out on it. What did I get up to this week? I've had an insanely busy work week. So like normally I'll video game, we'll eat dinner and then watch a little TV, and then I'll like play some games in the evening after my wife goes to bed. And lately I've been just like going to bed like right away.
Oh yeah.
Just exhausted. But I did get, I played a little bit of the new PlayStation Plus game, Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It's such a perfect arcade racer. It's super stylish. The racing is fun. Like, there's drifting. There's a challenge to it. There's tons of collectibles. It's all like based on real Hot Wheels cars and stuff like that. There's a track editor thing that I haven't even messed with,
Nice.
but I'm sure there's like you could go like look at the top tracks. And I'm sure there's like some insane things that people have made out there, So, man, I highly recommend checking it out. It is a very, very fun game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into racing at all, because it is, it's still got all the best parts of the racing. You got to learn to drift and like how to overtake and stuff like that. But yeah,
from what I've seen, they get kind of crazy with like the vehicle selection, so you can get like twin mill or turbo twin something another.
There's so much already. Like, I'm still using one of the earliest cars that I got, and I don't know. I'm like, how is it going to get better than this? Like, but you could upgrade your cars like by there's tons of collectibles. There's gold in it to buy new cars or new blind boxes where you don't know which car you're going to get, and then or you could like break them down and get the parts to upgrade your other cars. Tons of customization. And then there's like remember when we were talking about that F1 game, and there's like that room that you have no idea what it's for, but you can get 1,000 pillows?
Yeah.
There's one of those in this one. But it's way more fun. Like just like the stuff that you can change, and it just looks
Can you put like your Hot Wheels cars in there on display?
I don't know. Probably it's like another thing where you could just unlock tons of stuff along the way. You're like getting new wallpapers for your basement, new arcade machines and stuff like that. Not playable, but yeah, it's just a lot of weird collectible things. But I enjoy it. I'm having a blast. And I play that because I can't play a game that we're going to talk about right now in our new releases. All right, the first one we got to talk about. Overwatch 2 came out October 4th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And I played it. I've tried to play it every single day. And I got in once, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There's these. So if everybody's not following the drama of this, night one, the day it's supposed to come out, they got a major DDoS attack. So servers were getting slammed, and it was just crazy. Tried to get in, nothing happened that day. There was and then on top of that, there was errors with people getting their accounts merged, their previous skins and characters and all that stuff merged to the new one, and that was all jacked up. So the next day, the following day, I was able to get in, and I played for a couple hours, and I got booted, and haven't been able to play since. It sucks.
Yeah. Wow.
It's very, very frustrating. And part of it is that I just haven't had the time. Like today, I tried to play. I got in there. It's queued. It said 599 players ahead of you. I waited about a half hour, and I shut it off because it still said 199 players, and I had to leave. So I'm hoping after we finish recording this tonight, I'm going to try to get on and play again. I don't have to work tomorrow, so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
But yeah. But I hadn't heard about the account issues, account merging.
Yeah.
So I assume that means with what we talked about last week or the week before, with this new anti-smurf system of you have to play like 100 matches to unlock everybody, people who should have had their progress carry over and keep their unlocked heroes are now behind that wall as well.
Yes, a lot of them. No, so Blizzard has said they're working on it, and I think this bug is getting ironed out pretty quickly. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were forced to do the tutorial and then forced to start with a limited amount of things that have, thousands of hours in the game. So that was one of them. And speaking of that anti-smurf thing, they initially told everybody they needed to have a phone number to play this game. And now you couldn't use any prepaid phone cards. So like anybody with a Cricket wireless account, because the way that's, I don't know, somehow with the way it's considered as a prepaid phone, they couldn't even play the game. They couldn't sign up to play it. Since then, it's happened just today, Overwatch they're backpedaling on that and saying the majority of people with, that would like to play this do not need to enter a phone. So I don't know what that means. I don't know who the minority is.
Yeah.
But, so that's good.
Yeah. No, and do you think that is an Activision Blizzard thing in general? Because they were doing the same thing for Call of Duty, requiring the phone.
Really? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. This is the first I even heard about somebody doing like this. But now people they do have to have a Battle.net account for this game. So I feel like that should be enough to stop most of the smurfing. Yeah. But, I don't know. But in addition to all that, there's so when I did get to play the game, and based on everything I'm seeing out there online, there's a ton of stuff that's either missing, so Overwatch, the first game, had a ton of content, and just stuff like character bios and little things like that. those are gone or trimmed down. The some of the screens. So like if you were doing well in the game, it said like I'm on fire or whatever, and then you had like a little icon that showed you were on fire. Those are gone, and it just seemed like part of it is stuff that like was maybe cut out to expedite this game, and it's maybe going to be added later because it seems weird to cut some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
But even like so they used to have like an ending where you could give like commendations to other people, and it showed like who did the best. So now they're showing everything. It's more like a Call of Duty like screen where you see how many kills, how many deaths, how many assists. That it was never like that before. You had to wait until the end and you saw like what everybody did. So that's different. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the time that I got in there to play. I played each of the new characters, and they're a blast. They're some of my favorite characters that I've played in a long time. So I'm like super, like I just really want to get back in and play some more, and I just can't. So, hopefully it'll get sorted out soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. It's like, it's kind of showing what, and especially the community. Like I'm on the Overwatch subreddits and stuff, and it's all super toxic now because everybody's pissed off about whereas the cosmetics used to be, you could get loot boxes fairly regularly and get those, and now you have to grind like super hard to get like stuff that you may or may not want, and the cost to purchase them outright is very high. So yeah, it's not a lot of happy people out there, and I think I just read that it's being review bound because of these things. So
yeah, that'll happen.
Yep, and that in this case, is it like? I mean, I feel like it's not. Whereas like we're seeing a lot now with people review bombing just because they don't like a certain thing, like a woman's in it or something, Whereas this, like part of it feels justified. This, reviews are supposed to share how we feel about the thing. And people are upset. So yeah, the gameplay when you could get in, amazing. I'm loving the new. They went from 6v6 with like shields. Now it's 5v5, and there's only one tank, and I love it. It's fast paced. It's fun. It's a blast. So
I've heard other people saying the same, that they were worried about that, and then it just moves really well with the 5v5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so much fun. The games are so much quicker. But yeah, definitely enjoying it when I can get in there. Hopefully later tonight. But all right, that was our first new release. Another one that we thought was interesting, Mana Finder, came out on PC. This is it's an interesting game. It's a very old school looking role playing game because it's all pixel art. This beautiful, stylish pixel art, like. This amazing design, and the characters are really cool looking, and it's just a turn-based role-playing game, very similar to the the 16-bit role-playing games that we used to get into. So it looks really cool. You play as like a mana finder on a quest for these mana stones, and you got a whole bunch of cool weapons and elemental abilities. This one, it's very, very interesting, and it's cheap too. I think I saw it was like $12 right now on Steam.
Yeah. That's for me. That's a definite pickup. I liked playing like Phantasy Star back on the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
This looks so much like one of those games that, I hope that it feels new from a mechanic standpoint, but it definitely looks very classic.
It does. I am seeing good reviews about the gameplay, and there's a bunch of like mini games and stuff in it too. So it looks like a lot of fun. If you do check it out, let me know how it is. And last up, No Man's Sky. They did the unthinkable. They put No Man's Sky on the Nintendo Switch. This came out October 7th. This is everybody's heard of No Man's Sky, right? We don't really need to explain it. It's an infinite, procedurally generated universe with, you could be a pirate. You can go collect things, resources, find creatures.
Yeah,
all those things.
The base building mechanics are really cool. I didn't have the best time with this game on PlayStation 4 as far as it like working consistently, which makes me think the Switch version, how in the world I wonder if they kind of
Yeah.
like dummied it down a little bit, took some stuff out of the game.
Yeah, yeah, I wonder the same thing, and I really did. I dug around for reviews trying to see how it ran. Couldn't find much. Everything I did find said it was running great.
Hmm.
Not a ton of detail, but I mean, to me, this game is perfect for handhelds. You know, if they could get it to run right, like because the majority of it is out there collecting resources, you know, going to these planets, and he doesn't need a ton of concentration because my biggest problem with the game, everything looks the same,
Yeah.
you know. That's what I don't like about the game. And I haven't played it in a long time, so I will, you know, I will say that. But like for a while, I mean, this was maybe a year ago, we would go out there, my son and I would play it, and he would like still look at all the animals, and every single animal just looked pretty much the same as the other, you know?
Which is crazy with the like procedural generation, but still that's under very strict like parameters, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise you'd be some terrifying monsters. But yeah, it was. It's just not for me. I'm not a resource building guy, or you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
When I first came out, I was like super excited just because of the way that Sean Murray described it. I think everybody in the world
Oh
was.
yeah. Well, if you get back into it, or you get the urge to get back into it, they do have like a free play mode, which you don't have to worry about the resources. You don't really have to worry about survival. You can just go out there, find your ship, build your base, do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way to play it. That's how me and my son were playing it for a little bit, where he would just like, let's go to another planet, and we would just go find another planet and just check shit out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely the way to go if you want to just walk around and look at weird things. All right, and that's it. It was a slow week for new games. Everybody was afraid of Overwatch too. You know, they didn't want to put their game out. Next week, it's going to be much better, I guarantee it. But that just leaves us more time to talk news. It's time to talk news of the week. All right, this week's top story, CD Projekt Red has announced their ambitious plans for their future games. So this was in a strategy presentation that was shared on Twitter. They showed the 7 games that they have planned for the Witcher and Cyberpunk series, as well as another new IP. And here they are. So we got, let's see, Project Hater. This is a new IP. Now it's not Hater, like Hater. What up, Hater? It's Hadar. Project Sirius. This is a new Witcher game from a studio called the Molasses Flood. Which I have no idea what that is, but I love the name of it because it's like slow and sticky and delicious. And then Project Polaris is a new Witcher trilogy from CD Projekt Red. And then over on Cyberpunk side, Project Canis Majoris, a story-driven open-world Witcher. Oh no, this is another Witcher game. Story-driven open-world Witcher RPG from a third party. And then Phantom Liberty, that's the Cyberpunk 2077 expansion coming out. And then Project Orion is a Cyberpunk 2077 sequel. I think I got everything. So that's insane to me.
Yeah. That's transparency we don't usually see.
Like, I feel like they didn't learn their lesson from the whole Cyberpunk 2077 thing. To be like, just tone down the ambition a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Like, I get the, like, especially now, Cyberpunk 2077 is having a renaissance. Everybody, you know, they came out with these patches. The Netflix show came out. Everybody's back in, and they're loving it. So they're like, yo, let's do it. Let's go all in. So some information we got real quick. Around 350 people are currently working on the Phantom Liberty DLC. That's due out in 2023. The follow-up, Orion, will be set in the same universe. And then Sirius will be an innovative take on the Witcher universe. So I don't know what that means. So it's going to be like a, I don't know, like a 2D side-scrolling Witcher. I'd be
Yeah,
down for that, I think.
yeah. You never know what they might do with it because you have like Gwent as a standalone, or they might
Mm-hmm.
have made like a second one we recently talked about.
Yeah, they did. They had like just yeah, a couple card games, and then Polaris will be The Witcher 4 technically, and then that currently has around 160 developers involved in it, and then Canis Majoris will be a separate Witcher series led by an unnamed third-party studio. So no timetable on any of these. The earliest we could, I mean, think to see one is 2025. That's got, because I think they said they're like 3 years out on the earliest one. And based on Cyberpunk, that took, what, 10 years to make?
Yeah, I think so. From like announcement to actually getting it out.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect for any of this, but I really do hope that they, have learned from their experience
Yeah.
and, give us something good.
Yeah. I saw that they're going to move some of their development for maybe the Cyberpunk sequel or maybe it's one of the Witcher titles to the U.S. from Poland.
Yes, and I think that's a great idea. So yeah, they're building a new studio in North America, and then the CEO and co-founder Marcin Iwinski announced he's going to be stepping down from that role, and he's going to be on the board of directors and making sure like everything runs smoothly, no crunch and this sort of thing. So that's great. But yeah, I really don't know what to expect. They did also say that there's going to be more of a focus on bringing multiplayer to the games.
Oh, yeah.
So initially they planned on bringing multiplayer to Cyberpunk, and that obviously didn't happen, didn't go as planned. But yeah, not so much doing like the service games, the games as service type thing, but just adding multiplayer, adding another little aspect to it, keep people invested, keep people involved. So they got all the right ideas. People want more Witcher, they want more Cyberpunk, but I mean, it's just insane that they got all this on their plate.
Oh yeah, but they're delegating to those other developers. When I first read
Yes.
that, what was it, Molasses Flood?
Yeah.
The way I read that was like, what is this? Is this some Witcher lore? There's like a great molasses spill or something in The Witcher.
Yeah, that would be great. That's the name of the next game, The Witcher.
The
Molasses Flood. Yeah, so I'm sure there will be constantly more updates about all this stuff. But yeah, don't look for any of it soon. But just get hyped. If you're a Witcher fan, if you're a Cyberpunk fan, it's all happening. And if you're a fan of new IPs called Project Hater, what do you think that's going to be? Let's wildly speculate.
Football.
Oh, nice. I was thinking Monster Truck Rally.
Oh.
Yeah. But, and now when you say football, you mean soccer, right?
I mean, good old American football, the way it was meant to be.
Wow. All right. Well, that's enough about. You got anything? Should we talk about anything more with CD Projekt Red, or is that it?
That's all I got.
Move on? All right. Good. Me too. Let's talk about another big announcement. The Game Pass games for October have been announced for the first half of October. So out right now, Chivalry 2. You ever play Chivalry?
No.
Dude, this game took me by surprise. It is a medieval multiplayer battle game where you're just swinging an axe around and chopping people's heads off and stuff. It's fantastic. That's out now, cloud, console, and PC. I haven't played it in a little bit. I got to get back into it. But yeah, it's so much fun. You throw spears, you do these war cries. It's a blast. And also out now, Medieval Dynasty. Sounds the same, not even close. This one is like a survival game where you have to like manage, you have to build a society. Not as exciting. The Walking Dead also came out. The first and second season are out on PC. Costume Quest comes out October 11th, cloud and console. This is a fun little Halloween-themed role-playing game type thing. Evil, day one on October 11th. This one is a multiplayer social deduction game. You find yourself in a village riddled by a series of murders. Some say it might have been you. Or was it? Convince others you're not a murderer to stay alive. So basically,
Among Us.
Among Us. So that's a day one game on October 11th. Another day one game, Dyson Sphere Program. Build the most efficient intergalactic factory and space simulation strategy game, Dyson Sphere Program. Harness the power of stars, collect resources, plan and design production lines, and develop your interstellar factory from a small space workshop to a galaxy-wide industrial empire. That's out on PC October 13th. That's that sounds like a game that you like.
Yeah.
You like building space empires.
Sounds right up my alley.
Mm-hmm. This one I'm excited for. Scorn comes out October 14th. It's a day one game. It's going to be on cloud, console, and PC. This is a first-person horror adventure game. So it looks... We talked about the trailer after it was announced, and I remember it was like terrifying and disgusting. So that's all I remember, but I'm excited for it. Just in time to get a little spooky E-Rock October action in there.
Yeah, I noticed your decoration back there.
Oh, yeah, we have there's Halloween decorations everywhere in this house. That one is just one of them. There's another one up there. They go all the way up. Yeah, I have, dude. I haven't. But side note, I haven't been because like I haven't been playing video games. I haven't had a desire to really scare the shit out of myself lately. So I'm totally rethinking E-Rocktober. I have to like nut up and get out there. But yeah, I gotta find some new horror games.
Yeah.
By the way. So.
Well, some of these might come in clutch because they're
absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That one's definitely getting featured. And then also a Plague Tale Requiem. That's a day one game, October 18th, cloud, console, and PC. It's a sequel to the previous Plague Tale, which was a great game. So that's the first half of October. Game Pass coming soon. So get in there, check out those games. A lot of good stuff coming. Anything you're excited for out of that list?
Did we mention Costume Quest?
We did.
Now, there is Costume Quest, and there's a second one. I don't believe the second one's available on Game Pass, but I used to eyeball that thing all the time on the PlayStation Store, so this might be my chance to finally check it out. Yeah,
I played Costume Quest when it was originally out. It was nice because you could play it. It was you could play up to 4-player multiplayer on it at the same time. So, you and the missus can play together, and you pick your cute little character. It's a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to check that out. I think my kid will be really into it. So, yeah, I think that'll be a good one. All right. Speaking of shit that my kid is into, the Super Mario Brothers movie, we finally got a little look-see at this little teaser trailer. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I know people are having meltdowns over Chris Pratt being the voice of Mario. I saw nothing wrong with this, though. And I'm looking forward to it. Looked really cool.
It looked awesome. I am absolutely going to see it at the theater. I thought it looked great. It looked, and then on top of it, I didn't even realize, but it's directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. These are the guys that do Teen Titans Go. Have you ever watched any Teen Titans Go?
No.
It's an absurd. Oh, you're not a huge comic book guy, but it's like, I don't know. It's made for kids, but also made for adults. It's like one of those where it's like, kids get the juvenile humor, and then there's this like more adult stuff. And it's like one of the funniest like shows. So I was excited to see that they're involved. But yeah, dude, this trailer, it looked awesome, and it wasn't Chris Pratt like pretending to be Mario, like whatever that guy's name is, putting on a weird Italian voice or whatever. He's just a normal dude.
Yeah, I did notice like kind of a Boston accent, if anything.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a higher pitch, like lilt to it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like just blatantly offensive, like, it's a me, a Mario. Like, how are we more upset about Chris Pratt than about this offensive Italian version?
I don't know. But, people are mad about all kinds of the voice actors, like Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. And I'm not even sure from the trailer how much of Donkey Kong we're going to see.
Yeah, probably not much. It's going to be like one of those where everybody just shows up for a second. We did see a lot of Jack Black as Bowser in it, though. And I thought he did a great job. So yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking for more of a full trailer to see more of Mario and more of the game or movie. Yeah, it comes out April 7th in theaters. So put it on your calendars. Get out there to the movies. All right, another new announcement. We got a new look at the next Need for Speed game. Need for Speed Unbound. We got a trailer and game announcement for that. Featuring ASAP Rocky. What more can you ask for in a racing car game? But this one, it looked pretty dope. I'm excited for that. I can't tell you the last Need for Speed game that I played, and it may have been Need for Speed Heat, which is so this is Criterion is the production company behind it, and their last time they had a hand at it was Need for Speed Heat. So, nice. Bam, I'm in there.
Yeah, this looks really cool. It's like it's not exactly anime style, but the people in it they are animated, but it's like a 3D animation thing. But they're saying there's more anime style to it. You see, like, even in some of the effects, the cars are super realistic looking, but when your car, like, maybe gets a turbo boost or something like that, you have these, like, animated, brightly colored pops and effects and things like that. Looks really cool, really satisfying.
Yeah, it was really cool. So, yeah, they're focusing on, like, art and graffiti in this game, and one of the quotes I saw, it says, Need for Speed is about trend setting. Need for Speed is about breaking the mold. Need for Speed is about rebellion. It's at the heart of that street racing fantasy, so we should be exploring new art styles and new visions and new ways the game can look so that we can not only stand out from everything else, but also deliver innovation where we should be setting trends. I thought that was a great quote. I love innovation in games. Like you just said, people are so upset when things are changed from what they're used to. But man, I like it when it hits, when something like just hits just right. It's great.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. This looks like it's. From the name says it all. They're not going to be bound by the tradition of the way the game has been in the past. It's changing right now, and it's going to be a lot more interesting for it. And I think they needed that to shake up the series.
Yeah, especially because I don't know. There's not a ton of arcade racers out, especially like there used to be. There used to be a ton. But yeah, there's enough out there where something new, something exciting is well wanted. But yeah, this is going to utilize new gen consoles and the Frostbite engine to deliver 4K 60 frames per second visuals in a free roaming open world called Lakeshore. So yeah, the physics will run at a high frame rate as well, offering more control and nuance to the physical movement of the cars. Very cool stuff. Another thing they said was, in addition to putting a firm focus on street racing, Need for Speed Unbound will include an offline single-player mode and cross-play, though not cross-progression. And it will continue to put an emphasis on the cars themselves, meaning a cockpit view is out, but hood and bumper cameras are in. And then another quote that I liked. I think Need for Speed Heat was... this is from the Criterion GM. Talking about their previous success with Need for Speed. I think Need for Speed Heat was extraordinarily successful for us. So we are following up this game from a really, really successful Need for Speed Heat, and the games continue to reach tens of millions of players. So our view of this is where Need for Speed is going. This is us sort of encapsulating the fantasy and setting it up for a modern audience. So they know they got to make it happen, and yeah, I am excited for some more Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Especially if ASAP Rocky is going to be in it, you know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I watched the trailer, I had no idea who that was until I read after.
Get the whole ASAP crew in there. ASAP Ferg, ASAP. I don't know. I think so many of them just keep getting murdered, so jeez. I don't even know which ones are left.
I didn't know there were more than Rocky.
Yep. Maybe not anymore.
Are they friends or
they just happen to have the same first name?
Oh.
No, yeah, that's like a whole crew.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. And I don't want to get shot, so we're just going to stop talking about it. All right, next up, looks like there's a next-gen version of the popular game Outer Worlds coming soon. The Taiwanese ratings board has classified a new edition of the game, Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. So this is a new edition of the popular Obsidian game Outer Worlds. Did you ever play that game?
Yeah, I played it on PS4.
Did you like it?
Yeah, because I've played a lot of Skyrim, played Fallout 4, and this is from Obsidian, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And Obsidian worked on Fallout New Vegas, so it feels and plays exactly like a Fallout or a Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, people always call it the kind of the spiritual successor to Fallout. I never played it, so I thought I was playing it at one point, and I got in and I started playing the Outer Wilds, which I did not like. It was a very different game. You ever play that one?
No.
So that one's based on like everything's on like a 22-minute loop. So you go and you got to like do stuff, but you only have 22 minutes before everything gets reset, and then you got to go figure it out again. It was frustrating.
Yeah.
But I really want to check out the Outer Worlds, so maybe I'll wait and check out the next gen version when it does come out. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. The original, so the first one, not the first one, the Outer Worlds came out in 2019 on the PS4 and Xbox One. There's been 2 expansions that came out. Do you think they'll have like the whole set in one?
I would certainly hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. That's a, you got, I feel like if there's expansions, you got to put them in the new collector's edition or whatever. And then they also announced back in June of last year, Outer Worlds 2 is coming, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
So you got time to get in on this Outer Worlds, what's it called? Spacer's Choice Edition. All right, and last up, we recently talked about Sony's purchase of a 14.09% stake in From Software. And we speculated, what's that mean? I don't know. What's that mean? No one knows. But in a recent interview with Reuters, PlayStation studio head Herman Hulst had this to say. You should think of collaborations on the game development side first and foremost, but it's also not unthinkable with our PlayStation Productions efforts that we explore opportunities. So, PlayStation Productions is their television and movie part of the thing. So, what do you think this means? What could you see coming out of this this little thing?
It's hard to say. I'd say they're going to take whatever's most popular as far as their IP goes. So maybe like an Elden Ring, maybe go for a movie or a TV show, or who knows? Because you've got it's under the weird PlayStation something another that you just said, but
yes,
it's essentially
Productions.
Yeah, they've essentially got Sony Pictures. Yeah.
Yes.
The big guys in the movie world.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them doing, like, throwing, like an animated series on Netflix or something for, like, Bloodborne or something. In a perfect world, dude, you throw me a Bloodborne movie or an Elden Ring movie, ooh, I'm there.
Yeah.
But, you got to have some faith in people's desire to go see something like that, because it would be expensive to create.
Yeah, and the other big question is, how do you make something in that universe when the games are so much about you creating the character sort of from scratch?
That's a good point. There is a ton of lore in that universe, so it's definitely there. I mean, Elden Ring specifically, we're talking about that, was, it's George R.R. Martin's had his hands on it, and it's all got this huge backstory. So you could focus on any part of that prequel to see why the world ended that way. It doesn't have to be entirely about that character. So yeah, that is a good point. But I think there's a lot of story to be told. And I feel that's the same with even like the Souls series. There is a lot of lore that was created and built for these games, and yeah, they could be told in many ways. But yeah, you ever watch the Castlevania series on Netflix?
No.
It's a fantastic. I've only watched a few episodes, and I always keep meaning to go back to it, and I always forget. But it's just like the art style. It's really dark. It's like an anime, and but like an Americanized anime. No, like little three little sweat beads,
giant
and
heads, and
yeah. But it's beautiful, and I could see them doing something like that with a From title, just because it's darker and more adult. You know?
Yeah.
How I like my cartoons.
There's like a League of Legends thing like that, or is it, or Arcane, something like that?
Arcane, dude, Arcane. Yeah, I could sit here and talk about Arcane for. It was my favorite show last year. I keep meaning to go and rewatch it, but yeah, that beautiful series and amazing animation. So yeah, I would love to see anything like that in the From Software, either Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring world.
Oh, right. Yeah,
you know. But we can dream. Hopefully, this little quote from Herman there can give our dream some reality.
Oh yeah. Now he doesn't sound too sure about it, but here's hoping.
No, here is hoping. All right, that's it. It was a slow but fun news week this week. You got anything that we missed that we should add?
I got nothing else.
That's what I like to hear. My beer's almost done. I'm going to go sit in a queue in Overwatch for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The night is young, my friend.
How many tens of thousands of people do you think it'll say are ahead of you?
So it always says, so it's not right, whatever it is, because it always says the same number. Either it's like $5.99 or $4.99. The other day it was 49,999 ahead of me, and then it would go to like 0. It's busted.
Yeah.
It's a bust. It's a broke ass game. But I want to get in there and play it. So we'll see. But all right, thanks so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. My name is Erect the Red. This guy is Full Clip. You can find us out there on Fruit Lab showing off our video game prowess. You can also check me out on YouTube. Pop Culture Playground is my channel. Full Clip is on YouTube at GameFAQs, GameFAX. He's also on Twitch every once in a while, twitching. That's all he does. He doesn't even play video games. He just takes it too literally, and he's just like every once in a while, he's like, But yeah, check him out there. Full Clip _FL. And then this show, Gaming News Weekly, the best show that you've ever watched or listened to, is out there on YouTube as well at Pop Culture Playground, out there on Fruit Lab, and out there on podcast services. Everywhere you look, you will find us. We charted in China recently. Bam! What? Let's see it. I don't know if it does. I mean, how do we feel about China these days? Is this something we should be telling people? China's kind of the enemy lately.
I don't know. It's the Chinese people listening to us, right?
Yeah, we're going to cut this part all out, but
we better, or we will be banned in China.
That's true. We love 10-cent games. Is that them, right?
Yes.
All right. Before we get banned in other countries, we got to shut this shit down. Thanks so much for checking out this episode. We will be back with more video game news next week here on Gaming News Weekly.